process, the turbo needs to be disassembled. When preparing a turbocharger, we begin by securing the turbo in a vise. Always put marks on the 3 housings for the correct installation and alignment at the time of the reassembly. We proceed to remove the bolts and lock washers. Then we can remove the compressor housing. We continue the same procedure to remove the turbine housing. Once the cartridge assembly is separated from the housings, we secure it. And with the correct size socket, we remove the compressor nut that holds the compressor wheel on the shaft. The bolts from the housing bearing are also removed to gain access to the internal parts. We start by removing the thrust bearing, piston, and seals. Then with pliers, we remove the snap rings and bearings in each side of the bearing housing. Before beginning the installation of all the new components, it is important to clean the cartridge, turbine, and bearing housing from any debris. We begin by installing the bearings and snap rings in the bearing housing. Now we insert the thrust bearing in the piston and install it as a unit. Put the seal in the bearing housing and proceed to close the housing bearing. Next, the piston ring in the shaft is changed. And assemble the wheel and shaft into the housing bearing using a new compressor nut. Remember, it is important to consult the manufacturer's manual to adjust properly the nut with the exact torque. Finally, we install the turbine and compressor housing together, making sure to match the marks that we put on the turbo before it was disassembled. And using the new bolts and plates from the repair kit, now our CTP turbo is ready to work.